Question number 8, Simon O'Connor.
Thank you, Mr.
Order.
Speaker.
Order. I've called Simon. Order. 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 I've called Simon O'Connor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My questions to the Minister of Health. Is he confident that New Zealand is prepared to deal with a suspected case of Ebola?
Good question.
Honourable Dr Jonathan Coleman.
Mr. Speaker, I am. While the risk that Ebola poses to New Zealand remains low, we are treating the situation very seriously and taking every precaution to keep New Zealand protected. I'm receiving daily updates on the situation from both here and abroad, and officials are constantly updating the comprehensive measures that are in place as part of the international response to the threat of Ebola. I'd like to recognise the hard work of officials, doctors and nurses, and all those involved in preparing New Zealand to respond to this threat.
Supplementary question.
Supplementary question, Simon O'Connor.
What particular measures are being undertaken as part of the comprehensive preparation in place to protect New Zealand?
Mr. Speaker.
Honourable Dr Jonathan Coleman.
Mr. Speaker, it's worth noting that this is not just a Ministry of Health response to keeping New Zealand protected. The Ministry of Health is working with Immigration and Customs to constantly monitor and update protections at the border. Officials are running specific Ebola readiness activities coordinated across 20 agencies to model New Zealand's whole-of-government response.
Supplementary question, the Honourable Te Ururoa Flavell.
Tēnā koe, Mr. Speaker. Kia ora tātou. To the Minister, how does he propose in the event that Ebola might reach these shores that we ensure that access to health services is equally available for everyone, particularly for vulnerable communities, many of which include Māori, Pacifica and those on low income?
Mr. Speaker.
The Honourable Dr Jonathan Coleman.
Mr. Speaker, the comprehensive steps we are taking are to protect all New Zealanders. There are more than 200 isolation rooms to deal with suspected cases right across all District Health Board hospitals and 4 specialist units, one of which, of course, is at Middlemore Hospital in South Auckland. There's also extensive engagement across the primary health sector to ensure high levels of awareness and preparedness, and of course, this government has worked very hard to increase access to primary care for all New Zealanders.
Supplementary question, the Honourable Annette King.
Is he aware that Queensland, our nearest neighbour, with a population about the same as New Zealand, has 3 isopod units to safely transport Ebola patients to high-level isolation? How many does New Zealand currently have, and are more to be provided?
Honourable Dr Jonathan Coleman.
Mr. Speaker, we have 4 units and we're currently in the process of implementing their deployment in New Zealand.
The pod.
Supplementary question, Simon O'Connor.
What capacity is there across the health sector to deal with a suspected case of Ebola?
Mr. Speaker.
Honourable Dr Jonathan
Mr. Speaker,
Coleman.
the health sector is well prepared. There are more than 200 negative pressure isolation rooms across all district health boards around the country, with specialist Ebola treatment facilities in Auckland, Middlemore, Wellington and Christchurch. Guidelines for health professionals in hospitals, public health, primary care and pharmacies have been distributed by the Ministry of Health. Relevant public health services are expected to undertake timely and effective management of ill travellers at borders, and all public health services are expected to manage routine public health activities, including contact tracing, in response to a suspected or confirmed case.
Question number 9, Dr Jan Yang.
Minister of Education.